Welcome. In this video I will demonstrate how to create a simple modal pop-up using jQuery in ASP.NET MVC4. To begin, I will create a new project as always of type MVC4, and I will call this modal pop-up test 1. So just a standard ASP.NET MVC project, and we can make it a basic project. All we need is all the jQuery libraries that come by default with Visual Studio ASP.NET MVC4 project type. So once that's done, we're going to add some references to our layout page. Okay, so here we are. This is our project. So open up the layout file first. And our layout file is a standard layout. There's nothing fancy here. And let's just make sure that we've got all the jQuery libraries, which we do. So let's start by doing a couple of things. First, let's move this reference here to the jQuery library up here right after our CSS. And we also need a reference to the jQuery user interface library, which is the jQuery UI CSS, and that's in this folder here, in the themes folder right here. So let's move that right above the jQuery reference right here, just so that when our jQuery fires, it has all the styles available that it needs. And also, the next thing that we need is a jQuery
నా ఫ్రెండ్ showed you a rescue. Two women look like possible mother and daughter and a couple of dogs. It's here in a raft similar to this one. And actually, Rob, crouch for a second because two women look like possible mother and daughter and then there's another rescue similar to this one. And actually, Rob, crouch for a second because two women look like possible mother and daughter and a couple of dogs. Similar to this one. And actually, Rob,
right after our CS.
Ago, this apartment complex over here, this brick building, it had parked over there, and we'd also told you that bringing some plastic, several other. A family of 3 on that boat. I spoke with them. JFRD, or they had told me that they had actually taken some of their items and put them up on higher ground. Again, we know there's going to be high tide here, so the water will continue. JFRD, or they had told me that they had actually taken some of their items and put them up on higher ground. Again, we know there's going to be high tide here, so the water will continue. JFRD, or they're to get to. The water is just so deep right now, but we're trying to get to that area where they're being taken, because when they get there, that's where they're taking a lot of people, and some of them may go to shelters, I'm being told. So, but I spoke with one JFRD rescuer. This is the big point here. Asked him if everybody was okay that he'd seen here in San Marco. He said yes. So that's certainly good news. As for their property, we're still waiting on talking to some people here. JFRD was going around knocking on doors just to see. I'm told we may have some sound now with some of the people on that boat. Let's hear what they had to say. I was walking with them, talking with them after they were rescued. How are you? That's what the most important thing.
We're fine. Actually, I live down in Miramar, but my daughter and her best friend have an apartment here, and we came down to make sure everything was up on the second floor before the floodwaters rose all the way up. So mission accomplished, and these great guys are giving us a boat ride back.
Yeah, because this water is disgusting, right? You don't want to even mess with it. So I can walk with you guys if you guys are. I know you guys have.
Awesome.
I'll move with you guys.
Yeah.
So you guys put everything up on the second floor, right?
That's right.
How many days ago did you do that?
About 10 minutes ago. That's why we were down here. We were actually safe and sound, but we walked back down through this river to make sure that everything was up on the second floor, because we just didn't think it was going to come up 5 feet.
Was this, if I can ask you guys real quick, was this more than you guys ever expected?
Oh, for sure. It always floods here, but we thought that, the house would be okay. We put sandbags up, so we thought that would be enough. And then my friend sent me a picture of what the street looks like, and it definitely was higher than anticipated.
All right, you heard that there, and they are in good spirits. They were okay, just protecting some of their stuff, as the 2 girls there live in this apartment over here, just trying to make sure their stuff was on higher ground and okay, because this took them by surprise, as it took a lot of people by surprise. And we do know that because of high tide coming soon, waters will continue to rise here in San Marco. I do want to show you, just again setting the scene, as we do expect more JFRD crews to come in, and we got to watch our step here. As the water's mostly remained about knee-high here, although it gets even deeper over here. But just debris, trash cans floating in the water, all kinds of garbage here. This is actually Naldo Avenue and Cedar Street. And again, the concern in areas like this and downtown as well is that water levels will continue to rise with high tide coming Cedar Street. Keep you posted. We're trying to get to those again, the concern in areas like this and downtown as well is that water levels will continue to rise with high tide coming Cedar Street. Keep you posted. But for now, we're live in San Marco. Kevin Clark, CBS 47, Fox 30, Action News Jax.
Now,
Now that it's starting to clear up a little bit, we're starting to see the after effects of what was Hurricane Irma. Take a look at this. I am standing in the middle of the Ramona Street, about, calf-high water. This gas station behind me has completely flooded. There are cars submerged over there in that parking lot. It is really amazing to see. I've seen cars trying to drive through this. Would not recommend doing that. Got to be careful where we step. There's looks like a little part of a sidewalk here, TJ. So if you walk over this way, do not trip. I've seen trucks trying to go through this as well. They might fend off a little better in these types of conditions. There's a little sewer grate here. TJ, walk this way over here with me. Take it slow. This is unbelievable. There is a bench right here. I'm getting water all in my boots. If I sit on this bench, I'm basically sitting in water. This is how high it is. It is crazy to see. Walk over this way with me, TJ. You have people just walking out here, taking in the sights after Hurricane Irma. All right, you're all right. Come this way. There's some grass, I think I feel a sidewalk right here. I don't even know what I'm stepping on. Come on, keep coming with me. You see these cars back here? I want to check and make sure no one's in there. Might take us a little bit to get there. Come on, TJ. Keep on coming. Oh my goodness, it's just filling my boots. I've committed. I'm already in the water. Come on. Hey there. Be safe. What is this? Is this a door? Or this plywood? What is this? Okay, this is what you have to be careful about when you walk through here. There are nails in this. This looks like it's part of the sign. Yep. Part of the sign of what was up there to my right. Wow. All right, this is really just unbelievable to take in. We'll have to watch out for that because there's nails in there. So we will stay out here to monitor these conditions. I'm going to go check on those cars over there. I think I see some taillights. Someone might be in there. So let me go this here. I'll send it back to you guys. I'm going to go check on those people over there.
This is a live look coming to us from Jacksonville. And that's a Fox News camera that's just watching the waters rise. It's high tide at the Bay Bridge there in Jacksonville, and we're waiting to find out exactly what that brings. That just hit, and Jacksonville's chief meteorologist is on it for us at Fox 30 and CBS 45 for the Jacksonville area. We can tell you that the storm is continuing its northward path and working its way over the state of Georgia. Right now, it's a tropical storm, and for the most part down in Florida, we're waiting for damage assessments. Let's listen to Peter Ducey, who's live in Jacksonville, where the wind is still howling.
It is, Shep, and you would think that this is the kind of a place where somebody might go to launch a boat to take it out on the St. Johns River, but this is a street. We're still about 2 blocks in, and you can see how deep it is, about 500 feet, where the banks of the St. John should be right now at what we are told is high tide. You look over to the right here, there's a Hyatt Regency that is completely closed. There's nobody staying there. There are a few staff that have been left behind, and you can see why from this angle a little bit better than where we were before. There are a couple of feet of water that are blocking any way that you would get into that hotel, basically, by foot or by car. We just saw the utility company go in to this building. They've been checking things out all up and down this block. It looks like if the water holds right now, that high tide is here. This is about as high as it's going to go, which should spare many of the businesses on Bay Street. But with the wind still coming in, you know, Jacksonville, nobody really talked about as being one of the places that the storm was going to hit as hard as it did. But you get a sense of how fast the wind came through here earlier today, late last night. Trees like this uprooted. They were uprooted like this in the lanes of I-10 East as we headed here from Alabama this morning. There's a lot of that. Obviously a lot of water, and now we wait to see how high it is in the rest of the city that we haven't been able to get to because we just have a car. We don't have a boat. And we wait to see how long it's going to take to clean up big trees like this one, Chef.
You need these different kinds of leaders, the silent one, the aggressive one, the smart one.
Pictures that had come in from there. There's some pretty extreme flooding where Interstate 10 meets Interstate 75,
to love you
which is
faithfully,
significantly west of Jacksonville, and all throughout
forsaking all
Duval
others.
County. We've been watching. This is Sky Action News Jacksonville Sky Cam up above, and this is looking at Orlando. Let's listen live.
A car appears to be almost into the door of the home. Looks like maybe they tried to park in a driveway. I don't know if the winds knocked them there or if they tried to park to kind of get some shelter from those winds. But a look at the damage from Orlando. We expect to see more images coming out like this.
Yeah, John, nobody here has ever seen anything like this. The waters of the St. Johns River rolling into downtown. And this is the definition of storm surge as we know it. The winds pushing the river into these streets. That's a marina right over there. I mean, that's just 2 blocks away from me. The St. Johns River just dumping in to downtown. We've been saying all morning long, as bad as it looked in Jacksonville, it would get worse. Well, now we're at that hour that we were looking towards, 2 o'clock, high tide here, and officials saying waters could rise 8 inches more. These historic floods that they're seeing here, those records keep on breaking with every hour, and it feels like with every gust of wind that we get here, we felt gusts up to 70, 75 miles an hour here, some that'll just knock you right off your feet. And it has been surprising to me with every person I've seen here to spectate, like these folks to my left. They survived Irma, and they are very proud of it, John. But the most troubling thing I've seen were people actually wading through these waters. We spoke with a man earlier who waded for blocks in water up to his waist just because he wanted to experience what was going on downtown and thought that was the best vantage point to get it. We don't advise anybody doing such a thing because, as officials tell us, these waters will continue to rise, and that's the threat here. These gusts of wind aren't allowing anyone to be safe in these waters, and as you said, you just don't know how quickly the scenario in here can change. I'm looking at a tree right here where I don't know if from this vantage point we've got a good view of the roots, but this second tree down here just hanging on by its roots, and with these powerful gusts that we're feeling, any one of them could carry that right out. And what's also interesting about our location here, right in the middle of downtown Jacksonville, this is the Omni Hotel to my left. A lot of people from this area, from Jacksonville Beach, from Ponte Vedra, from places that were really concerned right on the water of what this storm would bring, they came here for safety, John. But now these waters getting pretty close to the doors of that hotel as these waters continue to rise. And the wind continues to blow.
Yeah. Oh, Kaylee.
Seems to just get worse and worse as we continue to look at the damage here in Marco.
Wading through these
here in Marco.
Wading through these
here.
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 Wading through these
wading through these
here.
wading through these